Good morning, ma'am. Today I am going to discuss the Dipylidium caninum parasite. Dipylidium caninum parasite, commonly known as the dog tapeworm, it is distributed worldwide. It is particularly prevalent in areas with high dog and cat populations. The countries that are very affected of the caninum has been documented in North America, South America, Brazil, Europe, the Middle East, Iran, Russia, Asia, particularly in China, Africa, and Nigeria. There is no specific number of this case, and if you think about this case, it is worldwide problem. Now, let's see the map below. As you can see, that are the countries that I mentioned earlier. These countries had a high cases of the caninum. And now, let's proceed to the habitat of the caninum. The adult tapeworm resides in the small intestine of dogs and cats, where it attaches to the intestinal wall using its suckers and hooks. The intermediate hosts, which are fleas or lice, harbor the larval stage of the tapeworm. To make you understand, I provide you a pictures below. As you can see, the small intestine of dog and cat, there's a worm inside that make them uncomfortable. The morphology of Dipylidium caninum, adults are long, flat segments worms. They can measure up in several inches in length. Each segment, called a proglottids, contains both male and female reproductive organs. The terminal segments containing mature eggs and shade in the feces of the host. The head, known as the scolex, has suckers and hooks that help the tapeworm attach to the intestine of its host. Dipylidium caninum can grow up to several inches in length, and it's often identified by the presence of rice-like segments in the feces of infected animals. The pictures below help us to understand how did it start until it became mature egg and formed to be a flea. Now let's proceed to the Dipylidium caninum life cycle. First, egg stage. The life cycle begins with proglottids, which are segments of the tapeworm's body. Being shed in the feces of an infected dog or cat, these proglottids contains packets of eggs. Second, intermediate host. The eggs are then ingested by flea larvae, which serve as the intermediate host for the caninum. Third one is cysticercoid formation. Inside the flea larva, the eggs develop into cysticercoid larvae, which are infective stage of the tapeworms. Fourth is infection of definitive host. When an unsuspecting dog or cat ingests an infected flea during grooming or through other means, the cysticercoid larvae are released into the animal's intestine. 5. Maturation and reproduction. Once inside the definitive host intestines, the cysticercoid larvae develop into adult tapeworms. These tapeworms attach themselves to the intestinal wall using hooks and suckers, where they mature and start producing eggs. Last is releasing eggs. As the adult tapeworms mature, new proglottids contains eggs and produce at the posterior end of the worm. These proglottids eventually break off and are passed out of the host body in feces, completing the life cycle. Now let's proceed to the pathogenesis and clinical features of Dipylidium caninum. The common dog tapeworm starts when an infected pet passes tapeworm eggs into its paw. Fleas eats these eggs and become carrier. When another pet accidentally swallows an infected flea while grooming, the cycle continues in their intestines, where the tapeworm matures. Infections with Dipylidium caninum in humans, although it's rare, can cause mild gastrointestinal symptoms such as abdominal discomfort, nausea, and diarrhea. However, the most common clinical manifestation is the observation of tapeworm segments, preglatids in the feces or around the anus. So, alright, for the immunity, boosting the immune response against the Dipylidium caninum would involve the strengthening of the general immune system rather than targeting the specific lymphocytes. Why? Because boosting the general immune system would be more effective against Dipylidium caninum because it's a parasite, not a virus or bacterium that specific lymphocytes typically target. So, strengthening the overall immune response helps the body fight off various infections, including the parasitic ones like Dipylidium caninum. By enhancing defenses such as phagocytosis and inflammations. So the treatment for Dipylidium caninum involves administering a thelmetic medication, which are drugs specifically designed to kill the parasitic worms. Commonly used medications include praziquantel and ipsiprantel. So these drugs works by paralyzing the tapeworms, causing them to detach from the intestinal wall and be expelled from the body through bowel movements. So in addition to medication, it's important to address flea infestations as they are the common source of Dipylidium caninum infections. So preventing future infestation through regular flea control measures is also essential for effective treatment and prevention of reinfections. So we are advised to always consult our veterinarian for proper diagnosis and treatment recommendation tailored to your pet's specific needs. Prevention and control. Preventive measures includes the regular deworming of pets, flea and lice control, proper hygiene practices, hand washing, so taking medication which is the praziquantel, cleaning the surroundings is also important, cooking the food properly, and educating the pet owners about the risk of tapeworms infections. Regular veterinary care and inspection of pets for signs of parasites are also important for prevention. That's all, ma'am. Thank you.